So after the Julian Hill injury, we know that the Patriots are kind of thin at the tight end position. So I thought it'd be the perfect time after now that minicamp has come and gone and we have this 6-week period of absolutely nothing. We take a look at some tight end targets. Welcome into Patriots Today by Chat Sports, presented by Prize Picks. Use code HMA to get $50 in lineups when you play your first $5 lineup. I am your host, Brett Alper, and excuse my voice. I did a little celebrating over the weekend. But the Patriots, they need to add a tight end. 110%. They need to get some depth on the roster. Because if you guys look at what the current Patriots tight end depth chart looks like, you have your two guys, which are no problem, Hunter Henry and Eli Raridan. But Westover and C.J. Dupree are your kind of backups. As you guys can see, Julian Hill went on IR with that unfortunate injury. And you have that UDFA Tanner Arkin, who I think is very solid. But Mike Vrabel, we heard from him last week at minicamp, and he pretty much said, yeah, we're going to add a tight end. He said, just from a numbers standpoint at camp, I think that is somewhere we'll probably have to evaluate the numbers. I mean, there are 90, 91 guys on the team, so we will just have to take a look at that. But I would say that is probably somewhere where we would have to address when talking about the tight end position. We're going to get to a lot of the tight end targets, and I'll be honest, guys, there's not many available, but still some free agents out there. But we're on the road to 50K subs, and we are 826 away. Be one of the 49,000 Patriots fans that stay up to date and are part of the Patriots Today family. So if you love the Pats, go and hit that sub button right now. Let's take a look at the first one, and this is probably your best bet option available. And Will Dissly. And Will Dissly has been throughout the NFL for the past couple of seasons. He's played with Seattle. He's played with the Chargers. But overall, I mean, it's nothing crazy. I mean, last season it was pretty much his biggest down year. But with the Chargers, he kind of fell out of the rotation because they had Olamide Gadsden. I think that's how you say his name. But when you look at the last 4 seasons, I mean, 2024 wasn't bad at all. 50 catches, 481 yards, 9.6 average, and 2 touchdowns. But what I'm really looking at here, and I'll show you guys with each one of these prospects, is kind of filling the role of Julian Hill. He was going to be our main blocker. So what are his PFF blocking stats? Well, he has 49% of the blocks in the 2025 season when he was on the field. His overall grade, 60.3. The run blocking grade, 64.1. Not bad. But the pass blocking grade, that is what I'm looking at, kind of filling that, hey, Austin Hooper type role, 74.3. And it'd also be nice to have a guy like Will Dissly. I don't think he's going to cost that much money because he's not 30 yet, but he's still up there in age. But sign a 1-year deal probably for not that much money. You could get him for maybe a $5, $6, $7 million contract, and that's something that the Patriots could look at going forward. We'll get to more of the targets in just a bit, guys, but I got to welcome back our sponsor of today's show, and that is SeatGeek. And today's show is made possible by SeatGeek. When it's time to get out of the house, there's not many better options than a baseball game because you know basketball has ended. And use code CHAT10 to get 10% off your next set of tickets. And with SeatGeek being MLB's efficient ticket marketplace, your tickets are fully guaranteed and instantly fulfilled in your account after purchase. But it's not just baseball games, guys. You can get your Patriots tickets now. I mean, we know at Gillette Stadium, there are World Cup games going on. You can also get your World Cup tickets, but we're going to focus in on the Patriot games, and it is absolutely perfect. Whether it's a baseball game or a soccer game, SeatGeek has your back. Each ticket is rated on a scale of 1 to 10, so you know you're getting a good deal. So look for the green dots. Green means good, red means bad. And, of course, I have a code for you guys. You guys can use code CHAT10 for 10% off your next set of tickets at SeatGeek. That is 10% off any tickets with promo code CHAT10. So make sure you click the link in the description to download the app and have the code automatically added to your account so you can use it later. Thank you, SeatGeek, for being our sponsor of today's show. Let's get back to the tight end targets. Jonnu Smith. And some of these guys are all going to be former Patriots because, like I said, the free agent market for tight ends is not that great. But Jonnu Smith, a little bit better season than Will Dissly in a sense of receiving the ball. I mean, he's 30 years old, a year older, but you could see in 2025 he had a much better year. 2024 with the Miami Dolphins, he kind of had his breakout year after he left our team and went to the Dolphins. It was like, where did this come from? Where was this Jonnu Smith when he was playing for the Pats? Because 88 receptions, 884 yards, 10 average of 10, and then 8 touchdowns. It's kind of crazy to see what Jonnu Smith did, and then he kind of fell back. But the Steelers had so many tight ends. Pat Firemouth, talk about though one dude that's 300 pounds, and then it's just Jonnu Smith. They had so much. But for Jonnu, he's more of a pass catcher than a blocker. You can see compared to Will Dissly, it went down to 50%, from 50% all the way to 38. And the blocking, not so great. 46.8, 45.2, and 51.8. The Patriots are not looking for a pass catcher because you have Hunter Henry, who is our main guy, and also Eli Raridon, who I think is going to be a solid player on this team to kind of build off of it as a rookie and get better and better and better. He's also like 6'7", so he's going to catch the ball. So I'd avoid Jonnu Smith as much as possible. The next guy, another one, former Patriot. Pharaoh Brown. You guys remember him? Yeah. He's one of your deep pulls on the Patriots. He's the little bit of an older guy, 32 years old, but he did absolutely nothing in 2025. 2 receptions, 1 yard. And he is one of your guys that, guess what? I'd probably rather have him than Jonnu Smith. When you look at his last 4 seasons, but once again, we're not looking at guys who can catch the ball, ladies and gentlemen. This is going to be the 3rd guy on the roster. 8 catches in 2024, 13 in 2023. The big touchdown that we saw when he was a Patriot, 208 yards. But the blocking grades, you can see for Pharaoh Brown, 66.5% of the time he's blocking. So that's what the Patriots could possibly need. 57.9 overall grade, 72.2 run blocking grade. He was very, very good in blocking. And then the pass blocking grade, just okay. But when you take a look at what he did with the Patriots in 2023, yeah, he had the 1 touchdown, but also 70.7% of the time that he was blocking. So he kind of knows this organization. I mean, obviously it's a new coaching staff and a new system here in New England, but I'd entertain bringing him back. This would probably be an extremely cheap option to go with going in. Pharaoh Brown, he's one person I look at way more than Jonnu Smith. I don't know about Will Dissly. It'd probably be my number 1 guy. And the last guy on the list, and I'm going to tell you right now, guys, he didn't have any stats, so I can't show you your stats. But Nick Vannett, he's another one of those blocking guys, but he played 10 games in 2025 with 2 teams, majority with the Los Angeles Rams, and he's an older prospect, 33 years old, 6'5", 257 pounds. He is some guy that the Patriots could look at. And this is really your, hey, we're going to get him for blocking purposes only, because when you look at his blocking stats, his pass blocking grade was absolutely awful, 32.6, so that's something that you could avoid. But 82.1% of the time, so maybe he could also play on special teams. The run blocking grade is actually pretty decent at 66.5, but the number one thing that scares me, because if you go in a lot of 12 personnel, you're going to have someone blocking, an extra blocker, because we still don't know how good Will Campbell is going to be. And Caleb Lomo, if he has to step in for Morgan Moses, you get that extra tight end for some blocking purposes. But if he can't block for hell, then why the hell we signed him? But the main point is that the Patriots need to look for a decent blocking tight end. You don't have to worry about anybody that's going to catch the ball. And that's why I'm not going for Jonnu Smith, maybe not even Will Dissly. Pharaoh Brown would probably be my number 1 guy that I'm focusing in on because he is a blocking tight end. That's what you need for the replacement for Julian Hill. But you can also find Tanner Arkin, who did majority of blocking at Illinois, and he is a solid guy. UDFA, we'll have to see once we get to training camp later down the road. Pick a tight end for me down below, guys. Which one would you choose? Are you going with Will Dissly, Jonnu Smith, Pharaoh Brown, or Nick Vannett? WD for Dissly, JS for Jonnu, PB for Pharaoh Brown, or NV for Nick Vannett. I'm going to type my PBs. I'd like Pharaoh Brown to maybe get a little redemption for New England back for what he did in 2023. Come back here. Maybe have a solid year for us. And, yeah, we'll have Julian Hill back in next year. But there is one crazy option. And somebody made an article about it, and I was like, this is kind of crazy, but we're going to talk about it. And it's one tight end that you would have to trade for, and I think you guys know who it is. But before we go and do that, ladies and gentlemen, I got to tell you about our other sponsor of today's show, and that is Prize Picks. You guys know it's the best place to win cash while watching sports. Basketball's now over, guys. New York won the championship. Sorry, Boston fans, but that happened. But the fun does not stop on Prize Picks. You still got big golf tournaments going on. Baseball's in full swing. And you also have motorsports every single Sunday. The big soccer tournament is going on literally as I'm talking. And, you know, I love making daily fantasy lineups. You guys can follow me on the app to see all my lineups at The Real Alper. Get the picks before they even get posted on the show. And I'm not going to be able to pronounce these guys' names that very well, but we got the more. We got the lightning discount. I don't know with soccer. We're just going to go with it. Valverde. Thank you, producer Ethan. But I know my guy Juan Soto. We're going with the more. And then Ozzie Fudd, the new first overall pick for Dallas in the W. We're going to take the less? We're going to take the less on her points. It's Paige Becker's team. Come on now. It's Paige Becker's team. But you guys can make a lineup just like that one, guys. The app is super easy to use. Just pick more or less on a few player stats and lock in your lineup. There's a new user offer. Download the Prize Picks app today. Use code HMA to get $50 in lineups when you play your first $5 lineup. The link will be in the comments and description of today's video. That's code HMA to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. Prize Picks. It's good to be right. So what is that crazy option? Kyle Pitts. Yeah, that crazy option, which I think could be a possibility, but I think it's highly unlikely. But Sophie Weller, she covers the Patriots. She does an amazing job. Go give her a follow on Twitter. She made this article, and here's what she said about a possible Kyle Pitts trade. She said, with the news of Julian Hill being placed on season-ending IR, the Patriots could use another tight end on the roster. And Kyle Pitts is believed to be a potential trade candidate, despite the Falcons placing the franchise tag on him earlier this offseason. The team will need to sign him to an extension, but also have the upcoming negotiations with Bijan Robinson, and they signed Drake London to a massive contract. So they could think now is the right time to trade him. The tight end finished the 2025 season with 88 receptions, 928 yards, and 5 touchdowns. And look, he has been underachieved for most of his career, 2022, 3, and 4. But he had a breakout year in 25, and once you get him with a good quarterback such as Drake May, could you imagine the possibilities? It would be absolutely insane. He was doing this with Kirk Cousins and Michael Penix, guys. But I don't think it would cost that much. Like, I know we traded for A.J. Brown. We sent over a first-round pick, but I don't think it would cost that much. A 2027 third-round pick would probably be it. A day 2 pick would get Kyle Pitts on this roster. The Patriots willing to do it? I don't know. They just drafted Eli Raridon, so that's kind of where the possibility is like, do we really want to go out and do that? But it's an option here. And if someone mentions an option, we're going to talk about it here on the channel. I'll ask you guys, would you make this trade? Go down in the comments section below. Give me a T for trade or give me a P for pass. I mean, if you're going all in for a Super Bowl, go right ahead and do that. But if you're thinking about the future, I'd probably stick with Eli Raridon and go out and sign somebody in free agency. When the Patriots make a signing, guys, you know we got you guys covered here on the channel. So don't miss out on a single thing. Hit that sub button right now. And as always, let's go Pats.